Hello, angels. Welcome back to the Cosmic Tailor. If you are new here, don't worry, so am I. I am Taylor, here to tailor you to your highest timeline. I keep thinking about how when I first got this deck and I asked it what its first impression of me was, it said that I was represented, or my energy is represented to it by the Empress and the Death card. And I've been thinking about that a lot, I guess. I've been thinking about that. It's been, heavy on my mind today, I suppose. You know, ignore my hair. It's not a good hair day. But let's see what message Spirit has for you today, collective. The Knight of Cups, the Devil with the Six of Cups, the Three of Wands in the reverse, and the Ten of Cups in the reverse. This Devil wants to offer you a Six of Cups, but they don't have any cups, so I don't know how they're putting on this front as the Knight of Cups, because it's not... Excuse me, it's not who they are. Yeah, they're stealing. They're taking from other people. Okay, cool. They're taking from other people. They're taking from other people's supply, other people's energy in order to come off or seem as though they are one thing when they're not. They're not. And they're coming to you because they have run out of good fortune. They've run out of good fortune. And now they need you back to get back on track of making some kind of progress. 222 on the timer. But, they feel stuck. They feel like they've been, I'm hearing they've been pinpointed, which is interesting because isn't pinpointing, finding the exact spot in which you're going or where you plan to go or something like that. Ugh, my hand has been so itchy today. It's been really bad. 246 on the timer. You're still growing and going, though. I don't think you're even gonna, think about this. I don't even think you're gonna consider this. Because you got something else that you need to focus on yourself. Yeah. Strength. You have something that you need to focus on yourself. Something that, is requiring a lot of your energy, a lot of your focus. Four of Coins in the reverse with the Two of Wands. Yeah, you have been having to... This is reminding me of a reading that I just watched not even, not even an hour or two ago, actually. 3:23 on the clock. And I think it's literally, yeah. 3:33 on the timer. Holy shit. The reading that I got, he was talking about how the collective really needed to ground themselves and allow themselves to feel their feelings. I think the words that he used specifically, hold on, I'm gonna find this reading. It's called Girl If You Don't Start Slaying RN. It's by Spirit of Tally, and at the end of, or Tali, I'm not sure, I'm sorry. At the end of the reading, he was like, you need to learn how to be proud of your feelings and not let pride get in the way. And that's exactly what is happening here, because you've been dealing with and going through a lot. This person, whoever they are, they've been actively trying to put you in a space of instability, of lack, of putting you in a space of I'm seeing somebody trying to climb up a muddy rock wall, but it's raining, right? And the rain is coming, it's not even rain, it's a devil pouring out, 444 on the timer, pouring out cups of water all over the ground so that you can't escape. But the thing is, Spirit is letting you know you're already gone. 4, 5, 6 on the timer, you're already gone. You're not there anymore. You don't have to act like you are. You don't have to react in a way like you are, because you're not in that space anymore. You're safe now. You're safe now, and you're safe to express your feelings. You're safe to protect yourself. You're safe to process. You're safe to crash out. 525 on the timer. You're safe to crash out and allow yourself to fully feel that. You know, because with the Strength card, it feels like you've been really trying to, like, put up a wall, like building a wall between you and the things that you feel, because this energy is so, like, is like lurking so heavily in your energy field. 555 on the timer. It feels like you cannot escape them, or that they simply will not leave you. Yeah, 3 of Swords with the Ace of Wands in the reverse. It's like you're not allowing yourself to actually have the breakdown, you know? And this person is using this, like, betrayal, this hurt, this community of ops, all of their energy to work against you in a way where you cannot defend or fight or stand up for yourself. The Hermit in reverse with the Knave of Cups in the reverse. They want to take your, I heard they want to take your solidarity away, which is interesting. Like, they don't want you to feel solidarity towards yourself. They don't want you to feel comfortable with yourself. They don't want you to feel good on your own. They don't want you to feel, like, whole on your own. They don't want you to feel like you are beyond them. Gross. What is this? Queen of Cups. Because you have, like, an overflowing cup. You have, like, the thing is, people have to look at you and see you in this sense as the Queen of Cups. 727 on the timer. In order to conceptualize and understand, like, the most basic human form of who you are. Because who you really are, 737 on the timer, is very deep. You're very ethereal. You're very soul-based, soul-driven. 747 on the timer. And a lot of these people, they're not connected to that. Yeah, they're more stuck in the material realm, or, like, well, not the material realm, the real world is what I was gonna say. Stuck in the material realm, but now, like, it's being exposed that they don't even know shit about the material realm. They don't even know what they're doing. And this entire time, they have been living off of you, your energy, to make everything that they thought was reality a reality. And people are finding this out. Wow, so literally everything that they're doing, like all the attacks that they're sending your way, it's because they're getting caught. And they want you back just so that they can prove that you are the problem, which is interesting, because how is it that things only work out for them in their life when you're around? But the second that you're not around, everything falls apart, and that's still somehow your fault. That's weird. Like, look at this. It's dependency. If this is what they're like because they're not in a connection with you like this, the fuck? Then they were never a lover. They were never a counterpart. They were just, yeah, they were living off of your energy, your divine purpose, your soul purpose in this life. 918 on the timer, wish fulfillment number. You should search up 918 angel number meaning. You should. Search it up. Search it up. Sacred scribes. Search it up. But it's so gross, because, like, they don't want you to feel like you're good on your own. Like, Spirit, how would you describe collective? Oh, shit. The World. Justice. 7 of Cups in the reverse. Do you see how beautiful this energy is? Do you see this? This is how Spirit describes you, collective. This is how Spirit describes your soul energy. You're clear. You are, you're a communicator. You're honest. You present yourself as what you are, and that's just it. That's all. You are what you are. What you see is what you get, you know? That is your energy. What you see is what you get. And you are like a divine temperer. A divine temperer. Okay? My throat. I don't know why it hurts so bad. Like, I've literally been... haven't been drinking enough water, so I'm going to be doing more of that. But these people have been, like, really, really testing it, okay? Dude, because, like, look at this divine favor. This is how you're being described as, like, as Spirit. The fucking world, 1111 on the timer. You can't get higher ranking than that. That is the highest ranking card. This is the highest ranking card. This is as high as it gets. This is literally the final card in the Major Arcana. You cannot get any more higher ranking than that. It isn't possible. Okay? And Spirit is like, ooh, it sucks because Spirit like just really wants you to like keep focusing on yourself, trusting yourself, loving yourself. Allow yourself to express yourself. Allow yourself to express yourself. I painted my nails. I'm not very, this one, this hand isn't very good because it's my non-dominant hand, but like I do like this hand. At least I like these nails. I really like this one, and I like my thumbnail. My hand's shaking so much. I don't know why she's shaking so much, but she's adorable. They're all adorable. Spirit just wants you to express yourself. Express yourself. You don't have anything to defend against anymore. Like, these people, they might be lurking, but they cannot get into the space that your heart is in right now. It's not possible. They can't reach your heart space. They can't. They can't. Spirit has literally put the walls up. It's impossible. They can't reach you. They can't reach you the way that they used to. Yeah, and they're crashing out about it now. They're doing really stupid shit. They're wasting their money. They're wasting their time. They're really exposing themselves for the unresourceful and unrequited person, 1313 on the timer, that they are. And Page of Wands, Knave of Wands, and the Fool. Like, everybody is watching them, like, throw basically a toddler tantrum. Basically a toddler tantrum. Because they're not making the progress that they want to be making in their life, and they're blaming it on you. Yeah. They're going nowhere fast. They're being left out in the cold fast. They're getting left behind fast. And they know that. They just don't realize how fast it's going to be. They don't realize, like, the sudden switch up. And it's crazy because, like, Spirit has been talking about this energy all year. If you've been tapping into the collective, like, you don't have to watch just my readings in order to be tapping into the collective, right? Because your soul is connected to multiple different kinds of collectives and has its own kind of collective, right? But if you're here, then you know that Spirit has been talking about how something is going to happen like that. Something is going to happen like that. Okay? Everything is going to fall into place. Sudden, quick movement. It's gonna happen suddenly, out of nowhere. And it's like, that's exactly what's happening here. It's the restoration. You getting back what you are rightfully owed and what you deserve, and being given everything that you've been working for, everything that you've been manifesting from the universe, right? 444 on the timer. Getting everything that you've been working for. And this person is getting everything that they've been working for. Everything that they've been manifesting. They've been sending, like, straight up, yeah, look at this. 7 of coins in the reverse. They've been trying to kill your investments. They've literally, like, I'm seeing somebody spraying freshly planted seeds or seeds, like, in plants that are just growing with pesticides. 15 on the timer. Like, and I'm not even talking pesticides, I'm talking weed killer. Like, this person's trying to put on a front to make it seem like what they're doing is good for you, right? The devil with the Knight of Cups. Like, what they're trying to give to you is good for you and helpful and is actually going to help you manifest exactly what you've been trying to manifest this entire time. But it's literally killing. It's deadly. It's killing. And with the Queen of Wands, they don't want you self-empowered. They don't want you self-empowered. They don't want you to feel good in your own skin because they can't feel good in their own skin. They can't feel good in their own skin. And they want to make that your problem. And because of that, they've been, it's like, the funny thing is, when I was going through the thick of it with this specific karmic tie, right? Because I've been picking up on their energy heavy lately. I was going through it and I was asking Spirit, like, why is this happening? Like, why are we doing this? 16 on the timer. Why are you doing this to me? Like, what happened? I thought this was like wish fulfillment. What happened? And Spirit said, keep going. Just keep going. Keep tempering yourself. Keep balancing yourself. Keep going. Trust me. Just keep going. Right? And so I did. I kept temperance. I kept balance. I kept making sure that I was pouring out as much as I was, as much as I could. I was being as generous as I could with my time, my effort, my energy, my love, my consideration, my soul, right? And I was also simultaneously trying to make sure that I was doing the things that I loved, taking care of the things that I wanted to take care of, pouring into the things that I wanted to pour into, and experiencing life in a way that was lighthearted and good and fulfilling for me, right? And at some point near the middle, like near the middle of this, like, I was gonna say storm. So yeah, in the middle of the storm, right? Almost made it to the eye of the storm. Spirit explained to me, if you can balance in the middle of a ship that's in the middle of a black squall, if you can balance and temper in a ship, on a ship that is literally flying everywhere, there's constant chaos, there's never ending, constant problems, fighting, issues, etc., 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 drama. If you can temper and be grounded and find balance in that energy, you can be tempered, find balance, and be grounded in any situation, anywhere, anytime. Anywhere, anytime. You're going through this because I am turning you into a master temper, into a master balancer, right? And so when I made it to the center of the storm, the eye of the storm, right, and there was like that peace that I felt for a moment, I was like, why is it that now that I'm here in this position, it's like there's no problems. Like I finally got to this point, to the center of the storm, and it's like I'm surrounded by like I'm looking around and it's like lightning, raging storm all around me, but right here, right in the middle, right now, I feel at peace. I feel balanced, and I can feel the sun on my skin, and it's warm and it's nice, and I'm cherishing this, right? And I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want. I want to feel at peace like this. I want to feel good like this for the rest of my days. I want to feel balanced like this for the rest of my days. I don't want to feel heartbroken and devastated anymore. I don't want to feel like I always have to constantly fight to temper everything. I don't want to feel like I'm the one that is constantly having to do everything in order to make sure that things are okay, in order to make sure that things are going in a direction that I'm happy with, you know? And I had to go through the rest of the storm. I had to push through the rest of the storm in order to come out the other end and find the sun, you know? And we're in this position now, collective, where while we did learn a lot and while we became very, 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 very strong and our discernment has become very sharpened, we are now struggling a little bit in an area of which Spirit is saying that shall not be disclosed. That shall not be disclosed. So, take everything that I've said, 21:12 on the timer, take everything that I've said up until this point, write about it. Journal about it. Be curious about yourself, 21:21 on the timer, because you yourself have also been in that position where you had to be the temperer, where you had to be the one bringing balance into every situation. You were also in that position. You know how to temper death. You know how to balance death. Lean into the curiosity that you needed while you were in that storm in order to solve problems and realign the people that were around you to the highest truth, and do that for yourself. Do that for yourself. Allow old mindsets to die. Allow old ways of thinking to die. Allow old versions of you, old versions of your ego to go, to move on, to pass on. Because right now, the only thing that really matters is the fact that you've come out the other end. 2, 3, 4 on the timer. You've come out the other end. And nothing can stop you. Nothing can stop you now. And you are literally, you're so far ahead. You are so far ahead. You are making so much progress where you are and where you have needed to be. Like, you have done so much to get to this point. You need to be able to acknowledge that, honor that, and respect that about yourself. And you need to love that about yourself. Because there are so many people in this world that will go every single day for the rest of their lives refusing to do any of the work. Refusing to do any of the work in order to keep balance, in order to make balance in their life. 23:23 on the timer. They will refuse outright. Outright. Spirit is showing me a vision. See how the scale, it's all dependent on this centerpiece, right? For these two scales to work right, to work in a way that's fair. 2, 3, 4, 5 on the timer, right? For it to be balanced. Well, if you looked at it like a person, this is the center of self. Your 2 arms, and then the delegated responsibilities. If you are constantly living life in a way where you are throwing yourself out of the equation in order to maintain balance of what's going on outside of you, you will never reach equilibrium. You will never reach balance. Because scales without this centerpiece is just 2 cups flying around. You know what you have to do. And you should trust that about yourself. 24:42 on the timer. You're so much more wise than you give yourself credit for. So much more wise than you give yourself credit for. So lean on that. Lean on that. Depend on that a little bit. Trust yourself and love yourself. Allow yourself to feel and express. Thank you so much for being here, angels. And if you like this reading, you should totally tell me about it. And you should totally comment. And you should like, and you should like share, and you should like subscribe, because I really like your energy and I would really like to see you again. Thank you so much for being here and letting me read your energy. So yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.